they amazing? Yes, they are. Woo, let's all just take a second and rise up into that crystal blue vibration. Yes. Heaven on earth is a choice you must make, not a place you must find. That's a quote from Wayne Dyer. So you asked, and I promised a few of you, that we would journey through the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz this summer. Today and this month, I'm going to make good on that promise. I'm going to be in integrity with my word, impeccable with my word. So let's take that journey. So what are the 4 Agreements? The 4 Agreements are ancient wisdom passed down from master to student, then student becoming master, passed down to student again and again and again throughout time. They're not complicated. They're very simple. They are simple, and yet they are profound. And that's the beauty of God. God is simple. Source is simple. We don't have to be scholars to follow a spiritual path unfurled by Spirit. We just walk it. To live in Spirit is to live simply in the knowing of what is yours to do in love and peace without judgment. To live in the knowing of what is yours to do in love and peace without judgment. So these 4 agreements, they're not a religion, nor are they attached to any edicts or dogma. They're simply a code of conduct to help you grow personally and to grow spiritually. Agreements to bring into your everyday life in a practical way. These agreements are for everyone. So whatever the name you call God or Goddess, whether it's God, Buddha, Jesus, Allah, Great Spirit, or Diana, these agreements can take you even further on the journey to awareness and wisdom of authentic self. I know my ladies like that. And if you read the book, or if you haven't, it's no matter. You might decide to, if you haven't, and discover that the way to love and happiness is truly a simple path. The 4 agreements, as shared by Don Miguel Ruiz, are: be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best. It's easy. With Spirit, it's easy. That's a quote from Janaya. Spirit is easy. So I'm going to ask you now to take a breath in and close your eyes. Get into that crystal blue vibration. Let go of any preconceived notions of how you must show up in this world and allow Spirit to fill you up right here and right now in this present moment. Be open to see and to hear what may serve you in love, freedom, and true happiness. Now breathe in and open your eyes. It's an agreement you just made with yourself. Children are taught, we're all taught from a very early age, how to be, what to think, what's right, what's wrong. We're taught what to believe in. And maybe as we get a little older, we allow ourselves the freedom to decide for ourselves if that's what we believe in, or maybe we have a new thought. And some of those old programs go deep and are really hard to release and let go. They're really hard to let go of those thoughts and beliefs because they are so deeply ingrained in us at a very early age. We are presented with these teachings, these beliefs and these dreams by our parents, by our grandparents, by our teachers, by many in our lives. And it's as we agree to them that they become our own. It's that agreement that we choose to make. That's what makes them ours. Because people can tell you all day long, your skin's green. If you don't agree to that, you're like, what? They're crazy. You have to agree to it. But once you agree to it, you buy into it, that becomes your reality. To agree with the collective dream is to believe in and have faith in the dream. Maybe it's yours, and maybe it's your family's dream for you. I'm sure many of you have dreamed that, lived that dream. The dream that your family had for you that wasn't really your dream. And sometimes we've had the dream or the belief for so long, we don't really know if it's ours or if it's someone else's dream for us. Because we've agreed to it and we've lived with it for so long. And sometimes we have a very unique dream, and you know from early on that you are different, that you think a little differently, that you have a different dream than anyone else in your family or anyone else that you even know, anybody in your neighborhood, anybody in your town. You've never heard of anybody with such a dream. Who resonates with that? Be in that moment with me. Who knew? We knew from an early age that something different for us. You knew without anyone telling you that your path was different. You told yourself, or you heard it in that still small space within, that God shared with you and let you know what your purpose was, what your dream. And you agreed wholly and wholly with that, because it was truly a divine spark of inspiration. Now you know I'm going to age myself right here with a lot of it. I remember when I lived in the country, we had a TV, and we did no such thing as cable. We had bunny ear antennas on it with aluminum foil. And if we were lucky, we got 4 channels on a good day. We got the PBS educational channel. We got NBC, ABC, and CBS. Did any of you have that, experience that? Kids today don't have any idea. They don't know. And once a year, those special shows came on. I love them so. The Wizard of Oz, Cinderella. One came on in the spring, one came on in the fall. And then at Christmas time, it was Frosty and Rudolph. Those were my special shows. I would sit down on the floor right in front of the TV. I had 5 siblings, but that was my spot. I was right down there right in front of the TV, almost nose to the screen to watch that, because I love those so. And kids today, they can't even imagine that, because they have it on demand right there on their own personal device. They can watch whatever they want, whenever they want. But in Cinderella, you know, the Rodgers and Hammerstein version of Cinderella, near the beginning, when she was being mistreated by her stepmother, Cinderella sang a song. In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. That resonated so deeply in my soul that I would twirl around for weeks singing that song. In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. And as a young mother, I was at a yard sale, and I saw this little chair that was a perfect chair. I bought it, painted it, and put it in my son's room in the corner, because I wanted him to know that in his own little corner, in his own little chair, he could be whatever he wanted to be. It resonated so deeply with me. I knew without a doubt that it was a truth for me. And it was an agreement I made with myself and with God. I can be whatever I want to be. And I don't know why that particularly resonated with me. Because the story of Cinderella being mistreated, I wasn't mistreated. I had a wonderful childhood. I wasn't a mistreated child. But it so resonated with me, that idea that we can sit in our own little corner, in our own little chair, and be whatever we want to be. And my dream to be an athlete, it wasn't similar to anyone in my family. I didn't have anyone on my dad's side or anyone on my mom's side to emulate, to follow in their footsteps. I was trailblazing that trail, all on my own. I had no example to follow. I didn't even know what organized sports were until we moved to the city, and I was in 9th grade, and the teacher asked me to be on the track team. I never experienced organized sports until then, but it was mine. Once I knew it, accepted it, it was an agreement I made with God, and it was mine. To have your own dream is to believe and to know that you are destined for great things. Great things. Just like that song, Jay and her voices sing, great things. Yes, great things. And I want you to forget what you've learned in this life up to now. I want you to forget anything that is not that. That you can be whatever you want to be, and you are destined for great things. Know that. Forget about what you shoulda, coulda, woulda. What you should do, what you could do, what you would do, if only. If only you dreamed that dream. Or if only you had this. Or if only you were that. Know that the life you are living is your creation. It is your perception of reality, and you can change it at any time. How powerful is that, to know that it is your choice? In the unseen realm, in the metaphysical world, you have the power to create your own heaven on earth. And you have the power to create your own hell on earth. So why not dream a different dream? Why not use your mind and the spiritual power of your imagination and dream up your own heaven on earth? We can choose to live in the agreement of our own heaven, and we can also choose to live in the agreement of our own hell. We can learn to judge ourselves harshly, and we learn to people please and agree to the life others may have in mind for us, rather than the life we dream for ourselves. What agreements have you made in your life? Have you stuck with them? Have you given them up? Have you agreed to things just because it was expected of you? Have you changed course because of fear? The world can be a difficult place to live in because of fear. Human suffering, anger, revenge, addiction, violence, injustice, these exist at different levels all around the world and with each and every one of our lives. And fear is the controller. When we allow it, fear will take control. Living in fear is living in hell. Many of the world religions describe a place known as hell, a place of punishment, a place of pain, a place of fear and suffering. If you're living in fear, you are living in your own hell on earth, a hell of your own making, because no person has the power to condemn you to hell. Others cannot put you in hell, even though they might tell you to go there from time to time. Only you can create your hell, and only you can allow it to happen. We dream our own hell as punishment for not following those rules other people set for us. We search, and we search. We keep searching, even though beauty, love, justice, and peace are within us, right there within us. We search for it externally, looking far outside for validation, But there is no great truth to find somewhere outside ourselves. The truth is right there, right here inside each of us, ready to express as us, as we allow divine energy of source to radiate from us. We don't see the truth sometimes because we are blinded by false beliefs, by fear that is false evidence appearing real in our life. The world becomes shrouded in a misty fog, and clarity is a struggle. Do you find yourself in that foggy quagmire? Do you find clarity to be elusive? Speak your truth to yourself first of all, and then to the world, because it's the first step up out of that muck. Speak your truth. Stand in your truth. It's the most important of the agreements, and it's the most difficult to honor. It's so easy to slip into harsh and critical self-talk. It sounds very simple, and yet it's so very powerful. Change your thoughts, change your words, change your life. That's why I started today with Wayne Dyer. He was a great teacher for me, and I'm sure for many of us, changing our life by changing our thoughts and our words. Your word is a gift that comes directly from source. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God." We create our reality. We create our world with our words. The word is an energy, it's a vibration, it is a power by which we express and communicate, to think and to create the events in our lives. As we mature in life from childhood, parents, siblings, teachers, coaches, and friends begin to offer their opinion of us in words. When we agree with those opinions and those words, we bring them into reality. Those words can change your life for better or for worse. Be selective in your agreement. What are you agreeing to? Be kind to yourself first and foremost. Be impeccable in your word, says Don Miguel Ruiz. What does that even mean? What does that mean, to be impeccable in your word? What's it mean? The word impeccable comes from the Latin root word for sin. And the I am in front of it means without. Something's not possible, it's impossible. Something's without sin, it's impeccable. So impeccable means to be without sin. And a sin is something you do against yourself. A sin is something you do against yourself. So being impeccable in your word is speaking no word against yourself. You make the agreements with the words you use in your life. Speak with integrity. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Be kind to yourself in your self-talk. Be as gentle with yourself as you are with your dearest beloved. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Words have power. Words have vibration. Words resonate at a frequency. Those vibrations and our thoughts form the words we choose to use, and words have great power. The words we choose to use come from the back of our throat, formed in our power center. Every word we speak makes an imprint on the cosmos. Be careful what you're imprinting on the cosmos. What are you imprinting on the cosmos? Are you being impeccable with your word? Being impeccable with your word leads to a life happy, free, and loving. If you love yourself, you will express that love. Radiate that love in your interactions, and then you are being impeccable with your word, and there will be a vibrational match. Just as I spoke of last week, you will attract to you a like reaction. When you speak loving kindness to yourself and you speak loving kindness to others, loving kindness is what will flow back to you. Being impeccable with your word is the correct use of the energy. Being impeccable with your word is the correct use of the source energy that is within you. Make an agreement with yourself today that you will be impeccable with your word. And as you live in that intention, you will see that the poisons and the toxins of your life will fall away from you because they cannot match the frequency that is you. And what does not match your frequency will just fall away. The word is pure magic, the most powerful gift we have as humans. Choose to use it for you. Choose to use your impeccable word to create your heaven on earth. Do not fall into the muck and use the word that is a magical gift against yourself. That will create a living hell for you. Do not feel false. Do not feel frustrated trying to live in the image someone else dreamed for you. We sabotage ourselves by living to please others and to be just what they expect us to be. We try so very hard to be good enough, but we will never be perfect from that point of view. Never. Last week I shared that nothing ever grows from our comfort zone. So get out of that comfort zone of people pleasing. Step into your own light in that crystal blue persuasion. Step into your own light. Live your life out loud with impeccable word and imagine a life without fear of being judged by others. Imagine your life without being a right fighter. You respect yourself and everyone else, and they respect you in return. Imagine living your life loving yourself and radiating that love out to every living thing. Radiating it out to the sun, to the water, to the trees, to the flowers. And you know that you are perfect just the way you are. Imagine it and make it so. It is entirely possible you can live in a state of grace, a state of bliss, a state of love in your own heaven on earth. The greatest adventure is to live life, and yet so many humans live with a fear to truly be alive, a fear of being themselves, a fear of being a success, a fear of just being who you are. Be impeccable with your word and embrace who you are. Are you living by the rules created by others who made those rules and you agreed to them? Because that's living in hell. So go back to that corner and lift up that little one inside and say, in my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. Over 2,000 years ago, Jesus told us about the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of love that is within. But people were not ready to hear that. So they created a heaven outside, a heaven that was a place. Instead of listening to his words, hearing his words, and knowing he was telling us, heaven is within. Today we know that. We know that heaven is a state of our own mind, and it is ours to choose. For this day, choose to be impeccable with your word. Choose to let love be your way of life. Be loving all the time. It's your choice. My choice is to live in heaven. How about you? Amen. Join me. Thank you.